Okay, so these cars coming out now for the Tribute Car Sprint, Super Sprint, and Brett Florence come on board to give us a bit of a rundown on these cars, Brett. So you know them intimately, I'm told.
Yes, look, Ron, traditionally these cars a lot of them were regularity cars, and fortunately VHRRs this year decided to separate them out of regularity and create a new class, being the Tribute sort of invited class. So we've got a little IROC Porsche. The car on screen at the moment is a local fella, Max McKay. That's the Donington Park mobile car from Europe that the Holden dealer team ran. That's a tribute of that car. Obviously, these are not real cars, but this current one here, the Citizen Watches, is Gary Cook and Warwick Brown. So some of these cars started out as Commodore Cup cars and the like, and have been brought into, turned into these sort of cars. So yeah.
Yeah, I see some of them running around and they quite look kosher in the wheels and a few different things like that, do they? I think we had yesterday the guy with the Datsun or the Nissan sort of rubbing wheels and things like that. The wheels kind of looked a bit too big for the actual wheel arch, in fact.
Yeah, look, some of the guys, as you know, that these are not period correct. They're probably 50 to 75% correct, and a lot of the componentry is not quite available and they're not fifth category historic cars, which is where obviously with Group C and A, but some of these cars are fantastic. Like this is the Kevin Bartlett and John Goss car from 1973, and the owner of the car, he actually contacted John and got a lot of detailed photos to make the car as period correct as he could. It's a beautiful car.
Well, Kevin Bartlett's here, of course, this
yes.
weekend. So Kevin's one of our driver standard guys, and we had dinner with him the last couple of nights. And he would be very happy to see the car running around, I'm sure.
Yeah, look, it's beautiful. It's a XA Falcon Coupe. And I think Kevin's actually looked at the car at Phillip Island a couple of years ago, so...
he has a look at a lot of cars, I think, very closely from time to time.
It was a very quick car yesterday. It was out front with some very good times.
Certainly sounds the business going past our broadcast spot, that's for sure.
And this,
now, the Porsche's an interesting one being in here.
Yeah, look, it's an invited car. It's an IROC Porsche. It represents Danny Hulme when he raced it. It's a beautiful car, stunning car. So yes, the VN Commodore there, it's an old rally car actually.
Oh, wow.
And that represents the Percy and Grice car from the Holden Racing Team when they were at VN Group A. And the car behind it is a current Commodore Cup car, and it's down from Darwin. Raced a couple of weeks ago at the V8 Supercars.
Well, there's commitment for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is.
My word.
Frankston Steel, a Melbourne company, sponsor it, but a young fellow, Robson, he races it. He's a very quick driver and a great kid.
Well, he certainly hasn't brought his Darwin weather down with him.
No, he wish he could have.
Oh dear. We need a big fan to blow all this fog away, but we can actually see the sun through the fog, so let's hope it's going to lift very shortly.
And I mean, the purpose of the Super Sprint was obviously these cars are much quicker than regularity, and it's a combination of getting some good cars out there and having some fun, really. And I think the quickest time over is what represents the winner at the end of the day.
And it gives the guys somewhere to exercise the cars, I guess. That's the sort of sitting in a museum or sitting in a garage somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And as cars drop off, we've got new classes coming in, which is a great concept by VHRR. And there's the Skyline you spoke of just a few moments ago.
Yes.
So, and here's another local fella from Wangaratta. It represents Jim Richards' R31 Skyline. I mean, the difference being Jim's was a 2-door, but this is a 4-door. But again, a really, really well presented, nice car.
Well, I mean, most of these guys, the cars are in concourse condition, aren't they?
They certainly
are.
Really
do. Even the historic race cars that we've got here today, they can win a concourse just about anywhere, some of the cars.
And, you know, we've got the IROC Porsche on there at the moment, and as you can see, it's Danny Holm representation. And again, it's anyone that wants to have a look at a Porsche, that is just beautiful, that one.
So we're just looking at some of the times, and Ramsey, as you say, is going pretty well there. That's in the XA hardtop.
Yes.
He's got the, well, pretty close, 146 to a Wood, of course.
In the Skyline.
In the Skyline, yes. He's right on his tail, the 146.03 and a 146.01 for Ramsey, so they're pretty close on times.
Yeah, they sure are. And
so how's it actually based on just the guy that gets the fastest time, no
yes.
second, thirds or anything like that?
No, it's all based, the Super Sprint category is just based around the fastest time of the session. You know, these cars are allowed freedoms where, you know, traditional fifth category cars can't. But in saying that, they're not covered by the fifth category sort of rules. So. But Ross Wood is a local man to Wangaratta, I think, or Benalla, but he races here at Winton regularly in their events with that Skyline.
Yeah, so you certainly know the track pretty well, that's for sure, but local knowledge always goes a long way. And Wood has actually got up to a 139.4, so he's really got the thing cranking along with a 140.8 for Ramsey, so he's put it out there that he's going to be the quickest. Oh, we've got someone off in the Boondocks. Car number 100, Stuart Dearden.
Yes.
In the Green Iron Monster.
Stuart's actually got another Falcon hardtop that unfortunately wasn't available to come today, so he's brought this car, but it's a City Ford XB Falcon Coupe that he normally runs at the VHRR events. And the car on screen now is another regular VHRR, both these fellas actually, runners in regularity. There's the Moffat Coupe, and then there's the little Escort, Scott Graham.
I actually got told yesterday to not call them replicas. I see
they're
this
a
one
tribute.
actually has got the R beside the
that's
25.
one of our very early cars that ran with VHRR. So, but Graham Stevenson, and Graham's building an XD Falcon, and he's going to retire this thing. He said she's getting a bit old and needs a birthday.
54 there is, of course, the little Escort. He's getting around. That's Scott Graham and the Ford Escort Mark II. And because the Escorts were very, very synonymous in touring car racing, weren't they, for years? Bob Holden group of cars, of course. So a number of guys ran these cars in their category. They ran in the class, of course. Well, they'd be up to 2 litre, I think they were. Good to see the guys out there having a run anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, this is something new that VHRR's really embraced, which I give credit to the committee members.
Which you're one.
Yes.
Yes, it's like everything else. Nothing happens unless there's a committee or a group of enthusiasts that get all these things happening. Yeah. Headed up by Ian, of course. He's sort of director of the meeting, I guess, but it's Peter
Donald and
Ian
Ross
that does most of the work, of course.
Yeah.
Very hard-working man. Even organises the Saturday night dinners for us, which is pretty good. He's a busy man, but ask a busy man to get something done.
Yes, exactly. Unfortunately, we had 2 cars that had to pull out due to medical reasons and just COVID issues. A fella from northern New South Wales with a Greens Tough XE Falcon, and a guy from South Australia. So, but we've got a field of 18 cars at the moment. Unfortunately, little Porsches come to a stop. Yeah,
the car 8, of course. Unfortunately, it's Cameron Smith with the Porsche 911. He's just up on the top of the main straight there somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty close there.
This car here is an old Commodore Cup car, and Travis Kirby from Ballarat. He's done it in the Gary Cook, Warwick Brown Citizen Watches colours from Bathurst in 1981. It's a beautiful car, stunning. it's a great way to get another old Commodore Cup car out of a shed. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so
There must be a few of them lying around the place
there
somewhere.
would be. So yeah,
That was a very successful category for a long time.
yeah, it certainly was.
And did they extend that on into the later model Commodores?
Yeah, so there's a VR and VS Commodores were also Commodore Cup as well. So I'm not sure where a lot of those are, but these earlier cars, this is an opportunity, and they still are obviously running Darwin. But,
Okay,
yeah.
right, yeah, because they do the chap from
Yes.
Darwin, yeah. So that's good that they're still around.
Yeah.
So they've done a fair bit of time out there. I think we're going to have 8 laps, I think it was supposed to be. But still Wood with a 136.3, then Ramsey back to a 140.6, and then Smith coming through in car 8 he was, going around in 3rd place, but he's pulled out for some reason. And then Robson, as you said, back there in 4th place at the moment, 141.8, and he was in his VH Commodore. Yeah.
This car here is Taz Maurice. He's a fella from Melbourne, and again, someone that ran early in the days with VHRR and regularity. And this car's the Bob Morris Fitzgerald car from Bathurst in 1983, I think, in the Seiko colours.
Interesting seeing the Channel 7 logo on the side. We're actually sitting in what was the old Channel 7 commentary box for TV production. Yeah, so I don't know whether a bit of scafey or Crompton rubs off on us up here. I hope not.
Yeah.
Anyway,
certainly not me.
No, but no. So yeah, I don't think this area gets used that much. We're normally up in the higher tower, which is on our right. So yeah, interesting we're in here, but we can see pretty much all the track from here. You haven't quite got the same elevated view, but thanks to Blendline TV, of course, for coming on board with Dan and Shane and the boys down there in the OB van. They've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, they sure have.
They're telling me they've been up and down the Hume Highway quite a fair bit just recently, as they've covered a lot of events.
But Taz's car here, it's really well presented. So, and it's a logbook car, he was telling me. So he's had it for a while. So the car just in front of that, the VN Group A of the Strathfield Car Radios. The owner of that car's from Shepparton. He used to own the Strathfield Car Radio store in Shepparton. And this is a great car, and it's beautifully presented. Reg has done a lot of work on that car, and yeah, it's a beautiful car.
The Wayne Gardner and Gary Moore car, wasn't it? So Graham Moore, sorry.
Yeah,
Graham Moore. He and Gardner drove that car. Then Gardner went on to Coca-Cola, I think, after that. Yeah. There was another driver that didn't sort of really go on with it for much longer after that, wasn't Wayne Gardner? He was quite a good steerer, actually.
Yeah.
I've read his book. It's a very interesting book about his times.
But Reg puts a lot of effort into his motorsport, and he keeps the car immaculate. So, but like I said, he's a local fella to the area, so he'd probably know the track well.
Well, Wood's still out there as checker flag just coming out, and Wood put in a blinder there with a 135.4. So
it's very quick.
He's really got the thing cooking along very nicely. Then Ramsey with a 140, and now Smith and Deere, and they've broken down. Of course, they're not running. So Robson coming in next there for, you call it, 3rd place. So checker flag drops there on the Apex event, which is brought to us by Australian manufacturer of steel products and their building products they have down there for the Super Sprint. And thanks to Brett. You back later on?
Yeah, I'll come
Brett?
back later.
Beautiful. So we'll thank Brett for coming up for the category. We've been very lucky this weekend. lot of the categories that are running, we've got a representative come up from each group. Although we know a fair bit about most of the cars that are running out there, it's nice to have that bit of intimate knowledge on the cars. Like Brett was telling us, he was able to tell us a lot more than what we knew. So thanks, Brett. We'll catch up with you next time round. Okay, we might just take a break for a moment and go back to perhaps an ad break.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannon's,
We've also got Shannon's Home and Contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
We all agree now is the right time to start making choices to support Aussie businesses, supporting Aussie families and communities. Well, from their humble beginnings in Melbourne nearly 100 years ago, Penrite now sit as a truly respected global lubricants brand across automotive and industry. And the best bit, it's still 100% owned by an Aussie family that employs Australians in Australian factories right here on Aussie dirt.